007 can kiss the Queen's ass, Ethan Hunt can go suck a dick, and Knight Rider can find a hole and bury himself in it, because today we are talking about Metal Gear, bitches! Woo!
Yeah, and it's a happy birthday to my boy Cody over there talking. So we decided for his birthday that I'll let him review any game that he wants, and what are we doing today?
Well, I figured we, in honor of 25 plus years of Metal Gear, I decided let's do Metal Gear, and we got the new Rising Revengeance coming up. So let's tap this shit out, do some stab and grab, and some shooting and hooting.
Booyah!
Booyah!
Alright, so which Metal Gear are we doing?
Well, I figure let's do the ones that are the most recent to people. In that case, it's going to be all of them, because if you haven't done it by now, go out and buy the Metal Gear Essentials Pack. Is that what it's called? Anyway, it's on Xbox 360, PS3, PS Vita, and there's even Metal Gear Solid 3 for the fucking 3DS, so you have no excuse to be playing this shit.
Yeah, true. I have the Essentials for my Vita. Even then, before that, I still have my PS2 games of 3 and Sons of Liberty, so...
Yeah, for some reason, those two just stuck around. Like, it's 3 and Sons of Liberty are just the ones that are just like...
Yeah, like they couldn't get rid of them. They just keep
you just can't get rid of them.
Even though 2's not that great, in my personal opinion. But 3 is definitely the better out of the two of them.
And I honestly think that the 3 and Peace Walker are the best Metal Gear games.
Really? I'd say 4. That's my favorite.
4 is cool, but I don't think it's as Metal Gear as 3. Like 4 is in that area where it's like I would put 4 above 2, but I don't know.
No, I understand what you're saying. 3 is definitely more like a stealth game, and 4 is more like a you can do stealth if you want, but it's also extremely viable to go around and just fucking shoot everybody too. Whereas the other games, it's not quite there.
Well, so let's be completely honest. All the games are something completely fucking different.
Yeah, that's true.
There is only one underlining possibility in all the games, and that there's the possibility of stealth, and that's it. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Need, there. If you like stealth and hunting animals, shit, go with Metal Gear Solid 3, because that's going to be the place to be. It's got some of the coolest bosses, I think.
It does have some of the best bosses, and it has some of the best features, like being able to change your camo, uniforms, your stamina meter, the way you gain back health, the way you take damage and how you heal yourself. It's definitely the most unique out of all of them, I'd say.
Next, the Peace Walker. Because 3 and Peace Walker and the Portable Ops series kind of go hand in hand in some ways. Ha ha ha. CQB, close quarters, CQC.
Yeah.
I want to say, because like in Peace Walker, you do have the camo ability, but you've got to do that before you go out on the mission. There's so much to Peace Walker, but there's not enough. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, it's meant for the PSP, so it's only meant to be played in short bursts, not like just go through it like you can on the console.
Well, I mean, even though even if you do play it on the console, because that's in the that's where you're gonna be able to play it now on 360 and PS3.
Yeah.
Because there's no Vita version for it, and if you have a Vita and you want to play Peace Walker, you have to download it through a PS3.
Which is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
God forbid you gotta update your PS3, which you do every fucking week.
And then that takes like fucking 6 hours.
I know. I remember the last time I turned on my PS3 about 6 months ago. It was a pain in the ass.
And but we got, let's see here. We got Metal Gear Solid 2, which was a fun game. Definitely weird.
Especially the later levels of the game.
Like Fat Man.
No, not even Fat Man. I'm talking about when Raiden gets captured.
Oh, you have to run around naked.
Yeah, you're running around naked, and then the whole time while you're running around naked, you got the Colonel calling you and telling you like crazy shit.
And he just starts bugging out.
Yeah, he's like glitching out. And the whole time you're going through this, you're naked, and he's like cuffing his balls and his cock. You only think you can't go around and punch people or crack their necks. You have to like do the roll through them. So he does like this somersault and like kicks him in the face. And you gotta try and hide.
Yeah, and then at the end of the game, it just totally does a 180 and gives you a fucking katana. It's like,
Yeah.
here's a katana. Like, wait a minute, what the fuck do we do with this?
Yeah. I was like, when did Raiden become like proficient with the katana? Was that in his training as a child?
As a child soldier, he was called Jack the Ripper, and it was Hideo Kojima, the creator of it, was setting it up as he's going to become the next Gray Fox. Gray Fox, one of the best cyborg ninjas, ends up dying in
Metal Gear
the first
Solid.
one.
Yeah.
Who was originally Frank Yeager, a child soldier who, in South America. No, wait. Yeah. He was in South America.
This is back in the NES, people.
Yeah. And anyway, and they explain it in the PSP games and shit like that. Anyway, there's lots of it. Anyway, Frank Yeager, Gray Fox, and Raiden, and Cyborg Ninja Raiden, or Cyborg Samurai Raiden, either way, are, one-to-one.
Well, it's kind of like, he's the next up-and-coming cyborg ninja. And
he's the predecessor.
Yeah, and you definitely see in, like, especially Metal Gear 4, when you see Raiden again, he has lost his fucking mind.
Yes, there's even a part where he loses both arms and is still a badass. Like, in that game, Raiden had become, a total badass.
Well, I just think he lost sanity for a while, and once he finally teamed up back with Snake, he got his, he started regaining it, I guess. I don't know, to be honest with you, because it's very it's not very well explained what happened to Raiden, And that's what I guess Revengeance is all about.
Well, actually, Revengeance is after that. And,
no, really, I thought it was a prequel.
No, the way that they explained it in Metal Gear Solid 4 was that Raiden had just kind of taken off, and he was working. Eva found him just because he didn't know what to do. Because after 2, Raiden was just a fucking mess.
Yeah.
So he ended up working for this resistance group, and then became a cyborg, and he's slowly dying in 4.
Well, no. What happened was he was looking for Olga's kid. I remember.
Yeah, and he finds Olga's kid, and
like after that, he lost his shit.
Yeah, well, he was looking for Olga's kid because she's the one that helped him as Mr. X.
Yeah.
Who was the cyborg ninja in 2.
Yes.
But she wasn't actually a cyborg. She was
just playing as one, yeah. But, I mean, people, regardless, if you don't know this already, the story is so convoluted in all the Metal Gear games. It's hard to follow. And we're just kind of like jumping around here.
Well, you know what? At least we're following the suit of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Like, all right, let's go to the newest one. All right, now back to the old one. But Cody, why don't you tell me, about your favorite one? Like, what'd you say, 3? Just go off on that one for a bit.
Yeah, 3 is definitely my favorite because I just started randomly remembering bosses, in 3, you start off as Snake. He's the up-and-coming new commando assassin, soldier. He is the military's, we need him to be all that he can be so that we can fuck your shit up.
Yeah, and he was being trained by the big boss.
The boss, yes.
Which was
a female soldier from World War II who had decided that she couldn't stay in the U.S. because they basically cut her open and aborted her baby.
What was there a reason why, or? I thought it's because she lost a child or something like that. But...
Yeah, she lost her child, so she was just like, I can't deal with it. And all her teammates were the bosses in Metal Gear Solid 3. That was her entire tactical unit. That was, who had basically, the story goes, won World War II against the Germans and shit. Yeah. And then it defected to Russia because the U.S. didn't want those kinds of soldiers anymore. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I had a motherfucker who could control bees, all right, that's some crazy shit.
Yeah, the one guy has a goddamn jetpack and a flamethrower. That guy might know what he's doing, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you use them against the Japanese, you can burn them out of some foxholes.
Or the other guy who can twist his head around like an owl and shoot poison crossbow darts. And
the
what's the hell's his name? Yeah, Fear.
The Fear. Okay, which leads me to one of my he is the.
And he has a tongue like Gene Simmons from Kiss. Yeah.
No, he doesn't turn his head around. He actually dislocates. He's double jointed, so he dislocates his arms and legs and climb up like a spider backwards on trees and shit.
Yeah.
Him and from Metal Gear Solid 2, Vamp are my two favorite villains. Like my most favorite boss villains, just because they're just insane.
Really, I never liked Vamp. I thought he was like overpowered. You know, because he's got.
I like Vamp because, like, in 4 they explain it because he has the
nanobites or whatever.
Yeah, which in 3 the pain was he was like, or no, the fear, because he had like grown up as a child and he was just so induced with like venom and shit like that he was immune to all kinds of venom and another child soldier.
Yeah. Well, weren't most of them child soldiers? Yeah.
No. The Fury was a astronaut, in the early 50s, before they, when they really started. He was originally a flamethrower unit, tactical unit, and then he became a cosmonaut, and he ended up being burned up like crazy on re-entry. Because he never made it fully into space.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's why he has to wear the suit. Otherwise, he's in so much pain.
Yeah, because the air contacts. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I always wondered why he wore the suit. I always thought it was because of the jetpack, but I guess not.
That helps. When you go through and you see all these villains that do all these different things, it brings you just a joy that you don't get in modern day games anymore. I mean, you don't get, multiple different boss fights that challenge you different ways. All of those boss fights, you had to do some kind of different tactic that you learned along the way.
You learned right on the spot, really. Like, listen,
you had to think on your feet too.
Yeah, like the first one you face, the Pain. He's the guy who controls the bees, and he has, like, bee stings all over his body. He looks like the goddamn orc from, like, Return of the King. You know that guy that was attacking that one place where Faramir was at? He looks like that motherfucker. But anyway, he controls bees, and what he does is, like, he puts grenades in these little bee balls, and the bees carry the grenades and drop them where you're at. So you gotta, like, jump in the water that's around the area to dodge the bees and then, like, shoot at them from the water if you want,
And you can also use, like, gas grenades and stuff.
Yeah.
And explosives. Because at one point he actually covers himself in bees as armor. Yeah. So, like, no bullets do any damage. Like, so it's like...
So you gotta throw grenades at him, or, like, a smoke grenade to dissipate all the bees.
Or a shotgun blast.
Yeah, shotgun blast always tends to work, too.
And then it's my favorite boss fight was the end, because I would just turn off the PS2 and then reset the clock a week later, and you turn it back on, and the end is just dead.
See, that's no fun to me. I always like trying to go
that was because it's like I let it go for a week, and I didn't know what actually happened. And to be honest, I've replayed Metal Gear Solid 3 I don't know how many times.
Oh yeah, same here.
But I mean, it was like, that was one of those things that if you waited a week, a literal week, the end would actually die.
Well,
he's just this old dude who gains his power from a